Hi, y'all, and happy Easter. I've been watching this TV show that's Southern. I think it'd be great if I had a Southern accent. Not gonna work. So I almost forgot again to do a blog today, and Brandon reminded me. And I've just been so sick, and been sitting outside getting a killer tan, believe it or not. And it's been awesome. The weather and Easter visiting with friends and seeing my family and cooking. Brittany and I did some cooking, and that was fun. And just resting, and I'm still sick. I think I have to go to the urgent care. I have to work tomorrow, but that's another story. I don't think I did. I don't think I did a video on why adoption. So if I did, sorry. But here we go, because there's no new information. There should be some after this week. I know our book's being shown to at least one mother this week, and she's farther along. So I think we should get some more information by Wednesday. I think Wednesday's blog we might have more information. So more in depth, why adoption? So we always knew we were going to adopt, and we just figured we would have our own kids, or not our own kids, but our biological kids first. And it just didn't turn out that way. So we had tried to conceive on our own for about a year and a half, and it wasn't working out very well. And so we went through the process of fertility, just checking our fertility, and found out that one of us did have an issue with that, and it'd be a pretty low percentage of us being able to conceive. And we decided that instead of putting money into trying to conceive on our own, we would look at other options that were just a little bit more sure, because with talking with some other people and doing some research, our condition, even if we tried to conceive through a medical procedure process, it still probably wouldn't be that high of a percentage, and it's pretty expensive, especially for us. And so we decided that we'd put our money towards a more sure way. In our state, so we looked at foster care first. We went through the classes. There's classes that you have to go through in New Hampshire, and then you have a home inspection, very similar to a home study. And then, so you go through, I think it's 12 weeks of classes, and then you have to go through the home inspection. And then if you pass that, then you can be licensed to foster. So we went through all the classes, and then we found out that where we were living before, our apartment building, wasn't going to pass inspection with the basement. So we got through all of that, and it was really good, though, that we went through the process, because we learned so much about detachment and how to cope with those issues, but also we learned more about our state and the system in our state, and how things were handled. And as much as we want maybe later on to adopt through the foster care system or just foster, it just wasn't a system that our state very strongly believes in unification with the parent. And for us as Christians, and also as people who wanted to be able to adopt the children, we weren't comfortable in just being responsible and being caretakers of these children. We didn't want to feel any responsibility for these children being reunified with their parents. Our state does reunify, and they're very big on that. And after reading some examples and hearing from the social workers that were teaching our class, we just didn't feel that we wanted to be a part of that system right now, and be responsible at all for any of the kids who might be reunified with parents who maybe weren't ready. And our state, I think, doesn't always do a good job of making sure that parents are completely ready. And so kids usually end up going back into the system and the trauma that they have from that, going in and out, and while being back with their parents, we just didn't want any part in that, and the fact that we probably wouldn't be able to adopt the children that came into our care. Just wasn't something that we wanted to do at that time. At this time right now, we really wanted to be able to keep the children that came into our home. So we went on a missions trip to Belize, and we talked about it and prayed about it. And when we got back, we decided that we were going to pursue infant adoption. And we had really been looking at older kids, and we decided that for our first child, we'd start with infant. So, so we maybe started the foster idea, found out about our infertility maybe in December of the year, so it would have been 2015. And then into 2016 in August, we put in our application with a couple adoption agencies, and we landed on the one that we're with now. And we really love working with them. It's the same agency that my two brothers and I was adopted through. And it's just, we know people who have adopted internationally through them, and it's just a great agency, and they've been so great working with us, and so we love it, and so we ended up going with them. And so far the process has been really good. I'm one of those people, when I have a task and I know exactly what to do, I just push forward and get it done. And so I got all the paperwork filled out. We got everything done. We got it done in record time. We went to the info session, and then that same week we went to a training class in Massachusetts. And they were surprised. They were like, "Oh, you have plenty of time to get this done." And I was like, "Oh, we already did it." And so so we got through the process really fast, and then our home study was held up because we had to move, and we were waiting quite a few months. And then we ended up moving end of December of 2016, and now in this home that we're in now, we have a lot of space, and it's just a great place, and we passed our home study quite easily, and everything's safe here. So I think if we decide to foster later, it won't be hard to pass the home inspection here. Everything's up to code, and it's great here. So so that was like in the course of like maybe January, well, we decided that we couldn't foster maybe in May, and then by August we decided to adopt. So really fast, we went from one thing to the next, and then it's been about a year and a half now since we found out, December, so a year and a half almost, that we found out about it, and we've been trying a few years before that, so it's been probably 3 years, 2.5 to 3 years now, that we've been wanting kids, and this is how we've gotten to where we are now. So hopefully we'll have some news for you on Wednesday, and this one a little over 6 minutes, but that's okay. Any questions, definitely ask them. You know I'm an open book, and I'll talk to you guys Wednesday. Have a happy Easter. Bye-bye.